Come on, guys, let's go fishing.
All right.
Hey, Brent, there's already one down here.
Come on, Brent. Should we try to catch a fish?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's down this way.
Hi, I'm Bob Jensen. This is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to get in the boat with Patrick Sheahan on the border of Wisconsin and Michigan. We're going to be chasing walleyes, and they're going to be biting. Let's get out there. The Land O'Lakes area of Wisconsin is one of my favorite fishing destinations. Land O'Lakes is right on the border of northern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This is about as wilderness as it gets in the Midwest. The reason I so enjoy fishing this area is because the fishing is almost always good, and oftentimes it's great. But even more importantly, I get to fish and spend time with my friends Mark Gastisha and Patrick Sheahan. What I didn't know at the time of that day on the water was that it would be the last time Patrick and I would fish together. Patrick lost his life in a snowmobile accident last January. But we're not going to dwell on that today. We're going to celebrate a nice day on the water. We're fishing a little lake that's just a few miles from the Wisconsin-Michigan border. I don't know the name of it. We'll talk about it later. We dropped the boat in the water, idled to our first spot, and Patrick got bit. Where was that one, Patrick?
Oh, the same place, coming out of that four
Right at the edge?
weeds, right up over in here. Nice walleye.
Is it? Yep. Oh yeah, right there. Oh, that's almost too big to swing, Patrick.
Yeah. Got to get that net more handy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, absolutely. And how deep was he?
Well, that fish came out of about 4 feet of water. We're sitting in 7. We're casting up into those weeds.
Yeah.
That dark water makes those really gold fish.
Early on, we were throwing our jigs to vegetation. Some of the weeds were just emerging, like these weeds here. In other places, we found scattered clumps of more developed weeds like this one. Both types of weed growth held fish.
What is it, Patrick? Feels like a walleye.
Some size?
Well, not bad anyway. It's kind of hard to judge these fish. Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Is it?
Well, it's
You want a net or can you grab it?
you got a net?
I got a net.
There we go.
But you're using pretty good sized minnows, aren't you?
Yeah, well, they're 3-4 inch sucker minnows.
Yeah.
They're hitting them pretty hard.
Are they? How come you're going with sucker minnows in that size?
It's just, it works well on a lot of the lakes up here. I use them all the time. But, you bring a little, we've got some blacktails in there and some shiners and stuff, so. But most of the lakes up here are filled with suckers, so, they're eating them.
Like I mentioned earlier, this is kind of wilderness country. It's not unusual to have eagles hovering and gliding overhead, and other forms of wildlife are numerous. This is just a great outdoor experience. I'm using an 1/8 ounce stand-up fireball jig and hooking the minnow in the mouth and out the back of its head. The stand-up fireball is outstanding in weeds or for dragging slowly along the bottom. Early in the year, a dragging presentation is killer. Patrick's using his favorite jig, a Northland weed weasel. He's tipping it with a sucker that's almost 4 inches long. The weed weasel has a weed guard that allows this jig to slip through vegetation easily. Bionic walleye line is quickly becoming a favorite of walleye anglers. It's easy to handle and strong, and it comes in odd sizes, so you can figure out exactly what size is best for you. 5, 6, 7, or 8 pound test is perfect for jigging. Lighter line for lighter jigs, heavier line for heavier jigs. Well, he just inhaled that one, Patrick. He just inhaled it. Jeepers. Look how he's got that. He's just got that all the way down. Isn't that something? Now, Patrick, it is what, the middle of May. Walleye season opened up here in Wisconsin just a few days ago. Where do you expect to find the walleyes this time of year?
Well, on this particular lake, we're dealing with some really stained water here. So generally, we're going to find them a little bit shallower than you would on a clear lake. We're catching these fish out of 4 or 5 feet of water. We've got some nice cabbage mixed in with some hard bottom here, and they seem to gravitate towards those areas this time of year. If it was clear water, we might be fishing maybe 4 or 5 feet deeper.
So that's what it feels like to catch a fish. I like it. Boy, what a nice day on the water. It's kind of a special day too. When we come back, we'll catch more walleyes. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is presented by Northland Fishing Tackle, made by fishermen for fishermen. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters. Fishing and friends are such an important thing. Let's get back out and spend some more time in the water with Patrick Sheahan and Mark Gostisha. Look at there.
It's a nice one, Bob.
Sure it is. That's what we catch up here. He was on a little bit deeper water. Got him. Thank you. Another male. That's what we've been getting. Mostly. Just nice ones. He was out here a little bit deeper. You did a very good job with that. Thank you.
And another one, Bob.
Yes, I do. I'm liking this spot. So am I. That's a nicer one. That's a better one. So, Mark, you moved to Land O'Lakes, what, 2 years ago?
3 years now, Bob.
3 years.
Yeah.
So that means all you do now is fish. Does it work that way?
Fish and hunt every day.
Yeah, that feels a little bit better. He was up there a little bit tighter to shore that time, Bob.
It's a nice fish, Patrick. He's long.
Patrick, now,
Excellent.
you know, early in the year, fishing can be really good. If you had your choice, would you go out opening day or 2 or 3 weeks later? And I guess being a guide, you do have your choice.
Well, actually, I don't know. Of course, you get so excited about opening day, and you know, you wait all winter long for that. But generally, the fishing really picks up a few weeks after the spawn. And usually around our opening day, they're kind of just maybe finishing up the spawn, and they need a few weeks to recuperate after that, it seems. And that's when things really light up.
Okay, last one of the year. Adam Sorensen has one more idea for a treat on the Dakota grills that he produces. Here we go. Adam, you know, when we go fishing, sometimes we like to bring some fish home to eat. And you told me you've got a recipe that's good for a lot of different types of fish?
Yeah, especially on walleye and like perch or something like that. It's wonderful.
I couldn't get any walleye or perch, but I got on a good tilapia bite the other day. Tilapia will work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. How do we do it?
Okay, well, what we're going to do is first, we're going to take some carrots, slice them long and thin. We're going to slice up some peppers. I prefer the yellows and the reds, and just julienne them. And then some red pepper as well. And then we're also going to throw on some scallions. Just cut the whole things up, thin little slices like that. What we're doing here is we're just cooking the veggies, and we're also going to cook the fish at the same time, but separate. Now for these veggies, we're going to put 1 tablespoon of butter, and we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And I'm going to use apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And just guess.
3 tablespoons. And then for the tilapia?
The tilapia is very simple. We're just going to throw it right on the grate, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our very own country seasoning on it. You could just use salt and pepper if you wanted. It's not going to take much because this is going to provide a lot of flavor anyway. And that should do it.
It's ready.
It's ready.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a simple deal.
So first we're going to turn it on. And like normal, we're going to set the grill temperature at 320. Oh, we're already there. Just enter it in. Rather than going the full 30 minutes like I normally do for fish, I'll go about 28.
And we're grilling this, not smoking?
Just straight grilling, yeah.
So Adam, this thing beeped about 20 minutes ago when it was done, and then it just holds it to a level.
Yeah.
And it grills it perfectly.
Oh yeah, yep.
And it smells really good.
Oh yeah, just take a look at that.
Oh yeah, it's very flaky,
See how flaky that is?
Yeah.
See how juicy that is?
Yes.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this fish off.
Yep.
And then we're going to put the veggies on top. And the veggies have soaked up that butter and that vinegar.
Yes.
And when we place them on top of the fish, that'll soak right down into the fish. And it'll give them, impart that flavor to them.
And no need to turn the fish.
Nope, no need to flip
during
anything.
the cooking process.
Yeah.
That is really good. Good job, Adam. I've got a Dakota grill that I really enjoy. It's easy to use and the food that comes off it is outstanding. Whoa, right there, huh?
Yeah, pretty close to the boat.
Yeah.
Decent fish. Ready there, Marcus? Excellent. Thanks, buddy.
Patrick, it seems like, you know, we pull up onto a spot and pop several fish, move to another spot, pop several. You know, is that pretty typical?
Well, depending on what lake you're on. In this lake in particular, yes. It seems when you get one, there's generally there's a few more swimming with it. So.
But they hit right away. You pull up on they pop right away.
You notice we don't spend too much time at one spot. You know, we get 4 or 5 fish. If we don't get any more in another 10 or 15 minutes, we'll go to another area. So we'll let this guy go.
You know, I get to fish with a lot of different people throughout the year. Patrick and Mark, boy, I always appreciated my time with them. When we come back, we'll spend some more time with those guys catching walleyes. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is brought to you by Impulse. Excite the bite with scent, color, and action. Fraybill, trusted gear since 1938. WalleyeLeather.com. If you are a truly rabid walleye person, you should have already had this stuff. Dakota Grills, unleash your inner chef. We're on the border of Wisconsin and Michigan. It's a small lake, it's off the beaten trail, and the walleyes are biting. Let's get back out there. Is this one coming in the boat? You think?
Oh, we might do that LDR deal again. They're really shallow.
They are, aren't they? Ooh, that's a nicer one. Look at that. That's a nicer one.
You ready? No.
Patrick's gonna knock him off for you.
Well, we are keeping count here, aren't we?
Yes, we are, absolutely. You know, we're catching a lot of fish here today. Eaters, 14, 15, up to 18 inches, 19 inches, something like that. Are there special regulations in all the lakes or some of the lakes? How are you taking care of these fish?
Well, most of the lakes, you get 3 to 5 fish over 15 inches, but some of those lakes have slot limits where you can't keep a fish between 14 and 18. So you catch a lot of these fish that you have to release, which is what we've been doing most all day here. And as you can see, this is a great aid in that. It's got a nice flat bottom to it, holds the weight of the fish. Real small mesh here, doesn't split fins, no knots to scratch the fish or take any slime off.
Doesn't hurt their eyes.
Doesn't hurt their eyes as well, right? And it's their conservation series is what they call it. And it's just a wonderful net. Sweeps through the water real fast and easy. It's nice and light. You can use it with one hand.
Let me show you something else about that, Patrick. This net, it's a telescopic net, slides in and out. Now, a lot of telescopic nets have a round tubular shaft there. This one has more of a V-shaped shaft, and it's got the power lock, so it always slides into place just like that. No fishing for the pin on the holder, it just slides into place. So what I really like, if I'm fishing alone, I need the net, I can just put my foot on there, and it automatically slides into position, extend the handle, and it's right there. Really a slick deal. Whoa, this is a bigger one. Look at him out there. I think he's a little bit bigger. Look at that guy.
Oh, they're all nice. There you go.
All nice, absolutely. Absolutely. He kind of thought he was a bass, didn't he? He had that bass attitude. A fun part of every fishing trip for me is to take a break from the fishing and have a sandwich or something. Some folks like to eat quickly and get back to the fishing, but Patrick and Mark and I always put the rods down for a few minutes and just talked about what we've been doing or what we're going to do and that sort of thing. We watch the birds and the deer and embellish our fishing or whatever exploits. We just always enjoyed spending time together. But we also look forward to getting our lines back in the water. Ooh, right there, huh?
That was a set. Let me get the net for that.
Walleye, look at him shake down there. Ooh, look at that head shake. Yep, look at that guy.
He thinks he's a bigger fish.
He is.
That's not bad.
He is bigger.
That's a decent fish there,
Bigger than your
buddy.
bait.
You gonna do that one for me, Dad, or am I gonna do it?
Well, it's about time you learn, son. Be gentle now.
Very good. As the day was winding down, we hit a pot of fish that were relating to a classic walleye holding structure that can be found in almost any walleye lake in the Midwest. Patrick, we fished a lot of different places today, a lot of different structures, weeds, bays. This point right here is a classic fish holding spot. I mean, this is just a classic spot. How are you going to fish this, you know, from early in the season opener until, you know, later in the season?
This point you see coming off this island extends out here another 100, 150 yards or so, tops off at about 4 or 5 feet, and that happens to be where we're catching those fish right now. It's right up top in the shallow water. They're up there feeding. What's going to happen later in the season is they're gradually going to kind of move a little bit deeper off that point, and say in July we might be fishing out here in 20 feet of water.
Here's a shot of that point in the sonar. The red bottom means it's a hard bottom. There's walleyes mixed in with the rocks right on top of the point. Humminbird is making some outstanding sonar units that are easy to use and will help you catch more fish. Let's make a quick visit to Cabela's to look at another outstanding product. Sammy, I've been hearing a lot about this Cabela's Grand Teton Parka. What can you tell me about it?
Well, it's waterproof, it's breathable. This is the shell. It has media pockets on your sleeves and here. It has a sealed seam, so it's like 100% waterproof and breathable. The shell can be used just as a raincoat.
I've heard it's a 3-in-1. What's the 3-in-1 part of it?
Well, the raincoat itself, it could just be a raincoat. You also could zip in to make it like a winter, like warmth. So, and then you could just wear the inside of it itself.
Okay, and then what are these back here?
We have Primaloft. It's a synthetic down, and you can zip this into here, and it comes in a jacket form with the sleeves.
Why is synthetic down better?
Because when it gets wet, it retains its loftness, and it's comfortable.
And there's another vest back there?
Yep, this is Polar Tech. It's like a fleece version. It's warm. It comes in the jacket too.
Why would I want Polar Tech instead of the Primaloft or vice versa?
This is warmer, and it also is a preference thing, like fleece versus polyester.
Some people just like the feel of this better than this.
Yes,
or
correct.
this versus this.
Correct. This is a Grand Teton Parka, only available at Cabela's.
Those Cabela's folks know how to help us enjoy our time outdoors even more, and that brings me to that lake Patrick and Mark and I fished that day. Like I said earlier, I don't know the name of the lake, and I sure couldn't find it again. It was one of those deals where I was the driver, Patrick was the navigator. He said turn here, and I turned. We went a few miles, Patrick said turn left, and I did. We traveled a good number of miles down a beautiful tree-lined gravel road to the lake. Patrick had told me it was an experimental lake. Regulations were no kill. It was open to the public, there was a decent boat ramp, but we couldn't keep any fish. We caught dozens of fish, but we couldn't keep any, and that was okay. You know, when it comes to fishing, some folks keep talking about growing the sport. But what that means is we've got to get more people fishing, and not just to sell more jigs and hooks and boats, but because it's the right thing to do. And if we want to get more people fishing, we need more lakes like this one that Patrick and Mark and I were on that last trip. There's nothing wrong with keeping a few fish for the table, but in reality, when someone wants to go fishing, they want to catch fish. And lakes with progressive, even extreme regulations like this one greatly increase your odds of catching a fish. We didn't catch any really big ones on this trip, but we caught nice ones. On tackle, I let them display some fight. This is exactly what we need to get more people fishing. It's not to grow the sport, it's to enable people who like to fish to enjoy their fishing even more. And that will enable them to enjoy life a little more, and that's a good thing. I consider myself so fortunate that Patrick shared this lake and this day with Mark and me. It was one of those days that you hope you'll be able to remember forever. And so far, I'm doing a really good job of remembering that day very fondly. And I know Mark is too. You know, I mentioned that was kind of a special day. That was the last time Patrick and Mark and I ever fished together. Patrick was killed in a snowmobile accident shortly after we were on that trip. And you know, the fishing tackle industry talks about getting more people involved in fishing. That lake we were on is a lake where you can't keep any walleyes, and it's a really good lake. If we want to get more fishermen, what we need to do is have more lakes like that that really protect the fish. I'll never go back there because I don't know where it is. Patrick always told me where to go and how to turn to get there. I'll never go back there, and that's okay. Now when we come back, we're going to take a recap of the year in fishing the Midwest. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is brought to you by Impulse. Excite the bite with scent, color, and action. Fraybill, trusted gear since 1938. WalleyeLeather.com. If you are a truly rabid walleye person, you should have already had this stuff. Dakota Grills. Unleash your inner chef. Okay, this is our last episode of Fishing the Midwest for 2013. Let's take a look back at the year of Fishing the Midwest.
gotta hoist him out of there. Look at that guy. Whoa. Got him? Look at that guy. Jeepers.
That's the way it is, the way that it goes. When you hear the truth,
Look at
but
that
you
guy.
didn't know.
Look at that guy.
Discover
Apparently they like the snow.
and things become clear. What was in front of you?
Ooh, that's a bigger one.
just
Look at that guy.
That's the way it is. All right. That's the way it is.
Wow, look at the size of that catfish. That's the fun part, though. That is. Whoa, here he's getting close. Look at that guy. That's a nice one.
Discover new worlds. Things become clear. What was in front of you just disappeared. That's the way it is.
That's a big goal. Nice catch off, Jim.
Nice
way to start a day. Holy smoke.
Okay, that's it. That's Fishing the Midwest for 2013. It's time for us to start making more TV shows. If you ever see us in the water, be sure to stop by and say hello. Hey, for all of us at Fishing the Midwest, thanks for stopping by. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.